It is 7 o'clock. Let's call this Wright Township Board of Supervisors meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join us in a moment of silence.
Jim, if you would remember the Culvert family.
Oh, yeah, thank you for that. And thank you, Daisy, for that reminder. Yeah, for those who don't know, our former tax collector, Stanley Humbert, passed away, 67, lived on Cherry Drive in Leewood Village. Super good guy, about as good as they get. And he lost his wife, Barbara Ann. Stan was 67 and Barbara Ann, I think, was 62.
She was young.
She passed, I think, 2019, so they have two boys, Bill and Richard, older boys, I think they're about 4 years, but yeah, wonderful family, and Township lost a good man and a good woman with those two. So. Citizen participation at this time, again, this is for items on the agenda. Do we have any at this time? Hearing none, we can move on to approval of the minutes from the August 27th Board of Supervisor meeting. I didn't have any comments or corrections to it. Did anybody else?
No,
No?
I didn't look into me.
Is that a motion to?
So I make a motion to
Would
approve.
you like the second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes from that meeting are approved. Persons to be heard, we have Lieutenant Preston from Pennsylvania State Police. Thanks again for coming out this evening.
I think, good evening. My name is Kenton Preston. I'm the new lieutenant here at Newport Station. The new station commander, Lieutenant Coleman, has since moved on. He's down in Hershey now. Just a short background on me. I'm no stranger to the county. I worked here as a patrol corporal, a crime corporal. I was the patrol sergeant for a number of years, and now I'm back as the lieutenant and station commander. So I live local in the county. My wife and boys live up in Millerstown. So just a little background on me. I brought our statistics over the past 6 months for Wright Township, if you'd like to hear. We responded to a total of 10 crashes in the township. This is over the past 6 months. This is going back to March 1st of this year. So 10 crashes, 6 DUI arrests, 8 thefts, 5 assaults, and 0 burglaries. So not a whole lot going on, which is a good thing. So definitely one of our slower municipalities. So that's good. That's good. So
Good, huh?
yeah, it's all good. So yeah. So I mean,
How many DUIs did you say?
I think it's 6.
6, okay. I thought I heard 60, I thought, oh goodness.
6. No, if there was 60, that'd be
Yeah, I
an
guess
issue.
so.
Yeah, 6. Yep. So
No, it's just Rye.
what's this?
Just Rye Township?
Yes.
Mostly 850.
I don't have the. I would say. I would say most likely, but I don't. This doesn't tell me that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, any questions for the lieutenant?
No.
Anybody?
Maybe you could get officer down and check some speed once in a while.
Yeah, I know that we do. We just had. I'm sure. I'm not sure. He didn't mention the name. Just spoke with you.
I was
Okay.
gonna bring that up.
Yep. He just talked to you just recently the other day.
Yeah, that was
True.
Trooper Everett.
Yep. On 850. Yeah.
Very professional gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pulled over on 850 where the school bus pulls up there by
Yep.
Ken Quigley's place,
Yep.
and he was backed in there.
Yep.
And I went past and saw him, go back around and see if he's looking for somebody in particular
Right.
or something, you know?
Yeah.
So I went back
Right.
and, yeah, we had a nice conversation, again, very professional.
Yep. Yep.
And he did give some background that I wanted to share with folks, and also if you can expand on it also.
Mm-hmm.
We often get people asking, hey, you know, all these speeders on 850, what can the state police do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you can park in my driveway and, you know, watch for them because they're always out there. And so Trooper Everett brought up a couple issues that I never thought about. He said, you know, we have to be mindful, troopers need to be mindful. If we're gonna watch people for speed, we need to also consider, well, when they do pull over, are they gonna be able to pull over into a safe area where
Right.
they're not gonna get hit?
Right.
The trooper's not gonna get hit.
Right.
Somebody's not gonna try to go around somebody on a blind curve and cause another accident, so
Right.
that, things
Right.
that I don't know that we
Right.
really thought about. And then as far as utilizing a resident's driveway, Trooper Everett had shared that, I guess you're a little bit leery of doing that because sometimes then whoever gets caught
Mhm.
will think that the resident had something possibly to do with it, and sometimes that doesn't go well, so
Right.
that's oftentimes why you
Right.
don't.
Yeah, I suppose that's always a possibility. Of course, I mean, that's beyond anyone's control, how people are gonna react, but, to the first point, yeah, that is definitely, probably one of the first things that we would have to consider is, are we able to run radar in a safe location? We need a, you know, clear line of sight, we need, obviously, we can't, I mean, we can, but it's not safe to do so, so we don't, and it's not on 850, but on areas with high volume of traffic. I mean, I'm busy, if there's too much traffic, it's not safe for the troopers to get out. It's not safe for the motoring public, because, you know, people do, as soon as they see it, they slam the brakes on. Well, if you have a lot of traffic, you know, people hitting brakes, then we're gonna be doing crash investigation. So, so like I said, yeah, there's a lot of things to go into. So volume of traffic, we need to have a line of sight for to run the radar. We need to have, I mean, and it's Perry County, so a lot of these roads are twisty and windy and hills and curves, so that's another thing. And we have to try to, I mean, obviously we can't predict always where people are gonna pull over or the manner they're gonna pull over. So we always try to turn our lights on and try to get them to stop in a safe area. So, and that can be difficult, you know, I mean, 850 is a windy, twisty road, so we try to have an area where it would be safe for them to pull over, safe for our troopers to be out of the car, safe for their other motoring public to come past. So yeah, there are a lot of things that go into that. I mean, if this other thing, whether it's a residential area or not, whether it's a school zone or not, whether, you know, the weather, like I said, the volume of traffic, there's a lot of things that go into it. It's not just as simple as just going out and putting a radar gun out the window and stopping people for speeding, because more importantly than stopping that person for speeding is the safety for the person we stop, the safety of our troopers, and the safety of everyone else on the road. There's no speeding citation anywhere in this state or anywhere else that's more important than the safety of any of those people involved. There's no speeding citation anywhere that's more important than that. So number one, we have to consider the safety of our troopers, the safety of the public, and everyone. So that's where that kind of puts constraints on where we can run radar effectively. So yeah, he's correct with all those things.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Yep.
And then I think if I understood him right, you also have to, you can't, right where speed changes, you can't check for speed right at that point.
Right.
They have to be, I think he said a mile?
Yeah,
Into
there's,
the
I'd
new
have to get you the exact distance, because there's state law that says they have to be a certain distance, but then we have our regulation that is a little bit more lenient on that. But yeah, we can't, in reduced zones where it goes down to like from 55 to, you know, 50 to 45, I mean, obviously, we can't sit within
Right on the other
30
side.
yards
Right,
of
right,
45
right,
zone, you know, so there has to be an area for them to decrease in speed, so yeah, he is correct in that also.
Okay, yeah, and that
Yeah.
also reduces the areas where you
Right,
can,
right,
you have
right,
available to you.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, people speed all over the county. I mean, obviously, it's not just 850. I mean, we get, you know, calls all day, every day about their speed all over the county. We only have X amount of troopers to cover the entire county, you know, besides, you know, Marysville Borough has, the part-time guys, but, so, yeah, we try to address all the areas that are brought up. the best we can. I can tell you for this one here, we have it's called a reoccurring CAD number in our system that, it's set, we can set that to prompt us on whatever type of time frame we set it up for every day, every other day, every week, every other week, whatever. And we can set the time where it'll automatically pop up to our dispatchers to dispatch a trooper to that area. So there is a reoccurring CAD for this, for 850 for the speeding. I don't know off the top of my head whether it's every day, every other day, every once a week or whatever it is. But when that comes up, then the trooper is dispatched to come down and do something. So it is being addressed, so that they are down and they are trying to do what they can do, but, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
well, yeah, that information from him was very helpful because
Yeah.
can then share it with folks here, because again, we didn't
Right.
realize a lot of
Yeah.
those limitations.
Yep.
The other thing that was rather shocking, evidently, I was sitting a little bit lower than him, he was up higher, but I think he was looking over at a laptop he must have on the console, and he could tell where your other troopers are at any given time and what they're dealing with. And two of them were working DUIs
Okay.
at 10:43 in the morning.
Right.
And I just thought,
Oh, yeah.
3 in the morning, and there's that many DUIs out there.
Yeah, our guys here at Newport, there's a lot of young guys here, and they do a fantastic job, they really do. They're hard workers, I mean, they get out and they work, and they do arrest a good bit of DUIs. Just this past week, we had this Operation Back to School Safety Week, this past week, so we were really trying to step up our presence in the safety in and around the schools and walking through the schools, speed enforcement in the reduced school zone and stuff like that. And I can tell you, we wrote 2 DUIs in the school zone, down at Susquehanna during school time. So,
Were they students?
no, they weren't, but, I mean, yeah, it's, you'd be surprised, it's not just, it's not what you might think, it's not just, on, Friday and Saturday nights, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, that's not it, I mean,
Yeah, so that.
it's
that
really
was
not.
all.
Yeah, yep.
And then one last question, public dumping. What, I don't know what we traditionally have been able to do here in the township. We were coming over Lamb's Gap over the weekend, and right at the very top, there was a fellow parked backed into that little spot. And I happened to look over and he's holding a shovel. I thought, okay, you're backed into a space, you're holding a shovel. Went down, turned around, came back, and just as he was getting ready to pull out, and he knew that he was had. And he said, hey, I was just dumping some soil there, and I said, I won't do it again. Well, it's just soil, and the way you seem rather nervous about the whole thing. But anyway, I tried to see what he was on the pile and keep track of him also and his vehicle and everything, and make sure I can get his license once he pulled out. So I did get the license number, but I don't know, is that something state police can do something about? Because it looked like it was brush that was dumped there, soil, which he said soil, but he only said soil. And I think he probably replaced a mailbox post because there was a big block of concrete there. And it all looked like it had just been dumped. So, I mean, the leaves weren't folded up or anything on the plant. So that whole pile was his. But I don't know if there's anything.
Yeah, we handle stuff like that. The technical crime code, that would be called scattering rubbish. Littering is obviously for vehicle code, fracking, you throw something on your car. Scattering rubbish would be basically the dumping, trash on someone else's property. So, yeah, I mean, we get calls about stuff like that. If we're able to identify the person, in this case you have the registration, I mean, that's something they can follow up on with the registration and, talk to the registered owner and interview yourself, of course. But, I mean, sometimes, I mean, I don't expect our troopers to be out there rooting through people's trash.
Yeah.
But there have been times where they're, on top of the pile of trash, there's a letter or something
Yep.
that would have an address or a name on it that they can then follow up on and then make an arrest on. So, yeah, we do investigate those. I mean, we do make arrests on those when we can. So, yeah.
Okay. Is that something you can do after the fact? I mean, if we provide you the registration?
Yeah, we can. I mean, generally, we like to try to investigate things when they happen. I mean, how long ago was this?
Was that Sunday?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
This past Sunday. And again, I don't know
Yeah.
if you're able to share with us his contact. I mean, because I'd be okay with calling the guy myself and just saying, hey, how about you come back and get your stuff and we'll just forget the, you know. But I don't know if you're,
Right. I mean, that'd be something that we could do. If we could run the registration, we could get the owner and talk to him and say that, hey, listen, the township supervisors, aren't looking to have you arrested, they just want you to come back and clean yourself up. Now too though, I mean, who's the property owner? Does the property owner?
it's game land.
It's state game lands,
That's what
okay.
everybody is.
Right, yeah, right. So yeah, that'd be something that we could look at if you wanted to.
Okay.
Or if you wanted to, if or maybe he won't come back again, or whatever you wanted to do with it. I mean, it's
Yeah, the bigger concern, it wasn't that nasty of a pile of debris. I mean, we've had much worse.
Oh, yeah.
But as soon as people see that that's there, that's gonna become the spot that they go to.
There's a magnet.
Yeah, it's gonna be a magnet. So that's why we,
right.
But I don't know if I give you this guy's registration number,
Okay.
and I don't wanna read it out. I don't know if I should read it out publicly, or is that no big deal?
I don't think anybody else is gonna be able to run a registration in here.
Okay.
I mean, that's up to you.
Okay. ZRF 9845. And he went back down over the Hampton side, so he came into Rye Township to dump.
Okay.
And went to-
Did you get a make, a model, and a color of vehicle or anything?
I didn't, it was multicolored. I think the main color was white, but again, with the way newer vehicles are.
It was a
It was
pickup.
a mix of colors, yeah,
A pickup.
because he was standing in the bed.
Okay.
Kevin Anderson, he was the game warden here for a good while. He caught one down on Idle Ridge one time, the guy says, well, we don't dump it on the state, where am I supposed to put it? That's exactly what he said, he put it in the game, he put that, I mean, what statement?
What's
Don't
the,
dump it on the state, what am I supposed to do?
what's the phone number then we could contact you at?
717-645-4172.
4172. And, okay.
And this was 3:30 in the afternoon, 22nd, right?
Sunday, 22nd.
That's Sunday, right?
It was Sunday, I don't know if it was 22nd.
Okay.
Okay, I can have somebody take a look into that, and like I said, they'll probably have to get a hold of you then to talk with you.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, thanks very much. Anybody else?
Oh, just, where was that again, you said? What road was it on?
Lamb's Gap, right at the very top, the Rye Township Hampton line.
Okay.
It's always a.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Good.
Well, thanks very much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming up.
Sure, anything else, or?
I think
I'll take off, okay?
all right.
All right, yeah, if you guys ever need anything, like I said, Lieutenant Preston, I've been up there for about a month and a half now, but I'm no stranger to the county, so, I'm happy to be back home, so.
Well, welcome. and
So
we'll
yeah, if you guys ever need anything, anybody,
Thanks
give us a
again.
call, all right?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Get back.
Okay, zoning code enforcement report, we have none this month. Sewage enforcement report, we have none this month. Takes up the road report, Brad, please.
Mowed along various roads, that's a section of still tractor broke down. Worked on tractor mower, cleaned up down trees and limbs throughout the township, cold patch throughout the township, mowed the grass through the building, cleaned ditches along back roads. Take number 3, dump truck, to get new tires on it. And spray number 1 and 2, we use that rust inhibitor on them, spray them all down. And Donnie washed and waxed the big dump trucks.
Very nice.
I told him they look like parade trucks.
Yep. Good to take care of the equipment.
Try it.
Appreciate it. Yep. Rec board report, I don't see anybody here.
No, Nancy said she was coming, but
Well,
she
maybe if she comes, if she makes it, we can circle back to that.
Sure.
Emergency management report, Kurt?
I see we've cut a check to Shermansdale Fire Company
Yes, it's
for the radios. Has that been sent?
no, it's for signature, approval and signature.
Oh, okay.
tonight.
Is that for, what are we doing for radios?
Yeah.
Okay.
For radios. And to be clear, those radios are for emergency services use. It is possible to get another channel installed for local government use, so that you could report ETAs and anything, you know, from out in the township. I don't know that the cost is prohibitive for that. The ones we get won't be configured for that. But yeah, I think it's a good deal, and it'll be helpful to have the radio to keep us kind of in the loop on what's going on in the township, so.
And I think the nice part about it is that the radios are gonna have, you know, 911.
Right.
So if you have an impending storm or a storm over us, and we hear calls about Heisley Road being washed out, you guys are gonna hear it first.
Right.
And Jim and I will also hear it, and we can assist in whatever we need to do. Having that local government, as Jim mentioned, is gonna be important for you guys to be able to communicate back to the township.
Sounds good.
Do we have, is there a license for local government in Black Township?
We do have an FCC license, yeah.
So we just need to renew that then, or?
When it comes due, yes, the certificate's hanging out there, I could check on it.
You know, we just need,
It's like 10 years, it's a long time, it's been a long time since it's been renewed.
so as Jim mentioned, these radios are not crystal anymore. The old radios used to have crystal.
Right.
These are just programmable.
Right.
Yeah.
Put what you want in.
Right.
Carroll Township has one, I think. Woodfield has one. Williamsburg has a local government, so.
Yeah, we used to have one local government, then they took down the antenna and don't have it anymore.
Well, thanks for finding
Sure.
those things.
And also I mentioned, Jim, you weren't here yet, but I mentioned a little bit about the scenario where the emergency management training that took place at Shermansdale.
It was
2 weeks ago.
2 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
7.
It was excellent training, Jim and I, people on the planning, right?
Yeah, the planning
And
section.
there was all kinds of different teams that were set up for the scenario. But again, the event or the scenario was a natural gas line rupture with fire at Newport Grove. And after the training took place, and it was an all-day training, just about.
Right.
We went up to the pumping station, up off of,
Mexico Road.
yeah, it's good. Very, very impressive area up there. 36-inch, 1,000 PSI. So they said it would roughly burn 8 hours if it would go. So Jim and I were involved in finding homes or finding a place for all those people that are displaced,
Right.
making sure that all the medical coverage was taken care of. We had to take care of all that. So it was a good training for us.
Yeah, mostly local hotels for the most part, for putting up people that were evacuated.
Right.
Well, thanks for taking care of all
Yeah,
that.
nice.
Was that it for?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it.
Financial treasurer report, Daisy, please.
The general checking began with a balance August 1st of $176,302.76, had receipts of $73,196.41, expenditures of $105,089.45, $208.01 in interest, leaving us a balance September 1st in the general checking account of $144,617.73. The penny and checking account had only interest activity and had a balance on September 1st of $2,309.02. The Bank of Landisburg Money Market Savings Account had only interest activity and had a balance September 1st of $2,524.45. American Rescue Plan Fund's Money Market Account had interest activity began with a balance of $267,473.51 and $769.44 in interest, leaving a balance September 1st of the American Rescue Plan funds of $268,242.95. Liquid Fuels checking account had a balance August 1st of $126,338.14. Interest of $133.95. Expenditures to New Enterprise Stone and Line for the road projects for 2024 of $124,000, leaving a balance September 1st in the Liquid Fuels checking of $2,472.09. The Liquid Fuels savings account had only interest activity and had a balance September 1st of $2,684.58. And the only other thing I wanted to note is on your check registers, the third quarter tax distributions are made to the fire and ambulance library. And also the fire relief monies came in, so 50% goes to Schulze, 50% goes to Marysville. So that's come in and we're gonna send it out right away. In fact, Mike Rue stopped in today and he said, give me a call tomorrow and he'll come and pick up the check for Marysville because he's the fire relief treasurer. So I just wanted to make note that they're coming in.
Okay, thank you for that,
You're
Daisy.
welcome.
Takes us to resolutions. Resolution 24-25, transfer general fund CD to 3-month CD at maturity, Mid-Penn Bank.
Okay, this was the short-term CD that we just pulled general monies out of our checking because the rate at the time was 5.1%, and we could handle that. It's just general monies that will need to be put back in before year end. Well, we can do it again. The rates have gone down a percent. It was 5.1, it's now 4.15 for 3 months. But it's still better than 1.3, which is what we get in a checking account. So I'm willing to do that and pull it out. It's coming due the 26th. So I may not get there the 26th with the zoning hearing that night, but the next day if I go, it would be 3 months from there, which would be the 27th of December. So I can pull that out and dump it into the general fund before year end. Because I really want it in our fund balance where it should be after then, but we can still get a little bit extra. Yeah, that's what this resolution is, really just to renew it and like term.
Okay, thank you for that, Daisy.
Mhm.
Make a motion to approve resolution 24-25. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Brad, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 24-25 is approved. Takes us to resolution 24-26, 2024 budgetary transfers.
Okay, these are just cleaning up some of the things. One of them is the emergency management account, of course, and we'll go over budget on that with the radios. I'm taking $16,000 out of road equipment capital purchase and sending them to office supplies, office equipment, building supplies, building propane, building repair and maintenance. Because remember, we had that repair with the furnace, and so that was over budget. Emergency management and small equipment repair. Some of these are very minimal, but it's a total of $16,000 from one account to several, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other accounts. So it's not changing the bottom line, it's just changing the money so you know some things have come up.
And the furnace referred to in the far garage.
In the bar garage, yes. In fact, we're still dealing with the generator on that.
Really?
Ever since they put that in, the generator doesn't want to run right. I asked Brad, I thought we had it, because the guy came back.
I think we were waiting on Suburban, they were supposed to come back.
No, Swenson.
Swenson, that's
Yeah,
right.
I guess it's
Swenson.
copies now.
Yep, copy. Yep, they were supposed to come back.
And they-
didn't.
I don't-
Generator.
Yeah.
The generator
Yeah.
for the township.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
It needs to be, it works, but it doesn't come on
It
and
doesn't
test
come on.
itself.
Oh,
That's what's going on, and it's ever since they hooked the gas, the propane to that out there. I don't understand it, but I just know the timing of it was
are we on your schedule?
I called them and I have to check that.
No,
either Brad or I could call and see what was going on, because I called the guy who came, Brian Nixel is his name. And then he called Swenson, so we had two contractors out. They didn't get charged for it, other than what they charged to hook it up, but, they never, I don't know. I thought they came out and the guys dealt with it, and then I asked Brad and he said, no, they never came back. We'll have to follow up with them, because they're aware of it. I know,
Okay.
I think he'll, Mr. Nixel will be okay with it. I just need to follow up. Mhm.
That takes us to old business, so the,
No,
you didn't-
oh, sorry about
The
that.
budgetary treasurer, we got
Yeah.
off on the
Thank you,
generator.
thank you.
I'll make a motion to
Sean would like
approve.
to make the motion.
So it's
Brad,
resolution.
you second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 24-26 is approved. Thank you.
Second that, I'm sorry.
Brad.
Brad did.
Brad.
Sean made it.
That's okay.
Okay, that takes us back to old business for JHA contract agreement status. So that's for our township engineer, codes enforcement,
And engineering.
and engineering.
Mike's going to handle that.
Thank you. Okay, that was gonna be my question.
Yeah, so I have an update on this. These, so there are two separate contracts for, Max Stoner, who's our engineer, one for the zoning work, one for the engineering work. Both contracts have the same terms and conditions in the back, these small print. So I proposed changes to these terms and conditions. And ultimately, Max made some, and then he said, well, some of these others you have to correct for the home office, which I did, and they agreed to them, and they sent them to Daisy like 3 times today, but one had changes, one didn't, and the next time it was vice versa, so.
We don't have a clean copy of that.
Oh, we don't have a clean copy, but, the person from the main office said, yeah, we're gonna make these changes, we want to work with you guys, and these are just standard.
So we can make a motion to approve contingent upon.
Contingent upon, the solicitor's recommended changes be made by JHA.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna send him these again and say, look, because I crossed out the verbiage and he agreed to it, but then they come back with, like 3 times. So, when they get it right, then I'll be able to get it over to Daisy, and then one week they come in and sign it.
Okay.
It's made out for Jim to sign.
Okay.
But otherwise, I think it's fine. They agreed to all the changes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'll make the motion to approve contingent upon the corrections that you requested and also your final review. So once you say it's good, we'll sign.
Yeah.
So thanks for taking care of that.
Yeah.
That was important. So I make that motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Sean second. All in favor?
Aye.
Contract is approved with those contingencies. Thank you, Mike. That takes us to new business. Motion for salvage yard license renewals for 2024, 2025 for Michaels and Bear. So 2 different salvage yards.
Yes, and I have one application in, but the other one is not in yet. That's for Bear. He did call and said he'll be stopping by. But we always just approve it contingent upon satisfactory inspection and report from the zoning officer. That way we don't hold up their license. I mean, we hold it up till we get that report.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion for that.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Salvage yard license renewals are approved for Michaels and Bear.
Contingent upon
Yeah.
Contingent upon
inspection.
inspection, thank you. So consider the 2024 pension state aid allocation to reimburse the general fund.
Okay, we received our annual allocation. I think it comes through out-of-state insurance companies. They pay a 2% to do business in the state, and then it gets distributed. We're very fortunate to have that kind of system. Not a lot of states do. But we received that, actually it's coming tomorrow through ACH direct deposit in the amount of $18,874.66. So this is the time of the year when we get those. We just got the fire relief, now we're getting the non-uniform pension. When I had a 5-year audit last year from the Department of the Auditor General, and she recommended that we reimburse our general fund as long as we've paid it. And we paid, we always pay the MMO, usually in April, May, somewhere around there. When the tax money has flowed in, you know, that's when we usually pay the MMO. We paid it April 16th, and we paid $19,061. So we can keep the entire amount and not put it back into the pension fund. That is your decision, but I'm just telling you what she recommended, because we always seem to put it back in, and she said, you know, I don't know why you're doing that, you should really reimburse your general fund.
Has SEK ever said anything about that?
Yeah, they have mentioned it too. You do know you have that option, if the board has that option, they can, you know, keep the money because you've already spent it out of general fund. I know if you're in distress, that's one thing. We are
Right.
not in distress, our pension funds are not in distress. So that's, I'm just telling you what she said. We always would put like maybe $10,000 in the pension plans.
Mm-hmm.
But it's up to you. Once it's in there, it's in there. And you can't get anything out, like our police fund, our police pension is,
Yeah.
it's very plush. And
Yeah.
the auditor said, ask if you could maybe get some money out of there. Nope,
Yeah.
only if when all of the policemen pass and there's no
And there
more
is none.
payments.
Yeah,
Then
no
they
one-
would
there's
do-
no one
then
to
they
take
would
anything
do
out.
something, right. But it's very plush, and there's nobody,
Right.
there's nothing to
draw
do,
out of it.
right.
Anybody see, has anybody seen any reason not to reimburse the general
I
fund?
don't see, I personally don't see any reason not to.
Okay.
Do you see most municipalities do that? Do they reimburse?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, okay. Make a motion to approve then reimbursement to the general fund for pension state aid allocation. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Does Brad need to abstain from this one since it involves pension, or can he, since it's just a bookkeeping thing?
Since the two of you are here, I would just.
Abstain, okay. So I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Sean second, Brad abstains. Okay, thanks, Mike.
Did you vote to approve it?
Pardon?
Yes,
Did you approve it?
yes, so it passes with 2 and 1
Yeah, what the
abstain.
motion carried.
Motion carried. Okay,
Okay,
thank you, Daisy.
you're welcome. Just wanted to give you that option this year.
Takes us to approve the advertisement to hire office staff. So for those who don't know, Daisy's gonna retire. After how many years?
It would be 32 in March.
2 years in March. So that means we need to find a replacement.
I
So,
told him in May.
yeah, oh, yeah, no, I didn't mean to imply that was.
No, it wasn't
on
a
you.
last minute thing.
No. So we need to advertise to hire for Daisy's replacement, so I'll make a motion to approve that advertisement. With a second.
I'll second.
Brad, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Approve to advertise for Daisy's replacement.
Yeah, lots of places to advertise.
Where do you want me to advertise? General?
PSATs.
I can write
PSATs,
PSATs.
please.
yes, I think
Yeah.
that's a good one. Penline, and also Diane Record.
Please, yeah.
Yeah.
I can put it
Luke?
on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And word of mouth has gotten out because I've had some calls already, so. they weren't in any hurry,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them have jobs, so, they have to consider.
Yeah. Okay, that's kind of good.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad there's somebody interested
That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
that wants to take it on.
Okay. Takes
Don't
us,
talk
yeah.
too much.
I will don't tell them too much, huh?
That takes us to announcements, September 24th, so this,
Oh, I'm sorry, it's the
yeah, I was just gonna,
26th.
I was gonna say, wait a second.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, nope,
It's not
that's all right.
today.
Okay, so clarification,
Yeah.
September 26th, the agenda
Yeah,
says the
it's
24th,
Thursday.
so 26th, which is this Thursday.
Yeah,
Zoning Hearing Board, variance hearing at 7 PM for 11 Ridge Road. Okay, and then October 1st is Planning Commission meeting here at 7:30 PM. The November meeting is rescheduled to Wednesday, November 6th at 7:30 PM.
that's due to election day
Yeah.
on Tuesday.
The fifth, yeah.
October 10th is going to be the first budget workshop here at 6:30. And then October 14th will be closed for, the township office will be closed for Columbus Day holiday, no change in trash collection schedule. October 19th is the Halloween party, 6 to 8 PM.
And that's in the
That's at the
Marysville
Lions
Lions
Club.
Club building.
Okay. That's at the Marysville Lions Club building. Thank you for that. Is that shared with
Marysville.
Marysville
Yeah.
also? I mean,
It's a joint-
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
okay,
joint
that's-
effort. I know
yeah,
Nancy's
that's
been
good.
going into the meetings.
And then October 24th is the second budget workshop at 6:30 PM also. Taking us to approval and payment of the bills, Daisy?
General fund checks 18043 to 18072 in the amount of $33,970.96. There were no expense checks paid. Payroll checks 8397 to 8402 in the amount of $4,670.74. Payroll checks 8403 to 8408 in the amount of $4,541.05. There are no payroll checks for the department.
Okay, just out of curiosity, Home Depot, what is PT? I'm just looking at it, can't read.
Paper towels.
Oh, okay.
Their paper towels are actually cheaper over there than at
Oh, that's fine.
Giant.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
questioning I
Yeah.
just struggling to figure out what it was. Okay,
I'm sorry.
make motion to approve payment of the bills. Do we have a second?
Second.
Sean, second, all in favor? Bills are approved to be paid. Thank you again for that, Daisy. That takes us to the second portion of citizen participation. John, you're up first.
Sure, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Can you please read the proposed advertisement for hiring?
I
Do we
don't
have it?
have it.
We don't have it yet.
No.
You don't
It
have
has
one?
to go before the solicitor.
Okay, so you approved one without it being, okay.
No.
What?
We
approved-
We
approved the advertisement.
Advertised, John.
So are you,
For fine point
okay,
on it.
but are you going to approve what's going to be in the
The
advertisement or no?
solicitor will.
Yeah, solicitor will.
Okay, I didn't hear that condition, thank you.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay, so what are the qualifications you're looking for in a new hire? You know, what are you looking for in this person?
Well,
You know,
it would
what's gonna be in it?
Would be ideal to have somebody that's already doing this kind of work or has recently done this kind of work. I can't say that we've gotten together yet and put together a description yet.
I have like a 4-page job description.
But I don't think that
But
we.
that's probably
yeah.
not all inclusive.
Yeah, so, yeah, the first part was getting it established that when Daisy's gonna retire and when the replacement would need to start and what the training and those kind of things are gonna be, so.
Okay, and do you have a proposed salary range and benefits for him yet?
Not at this time.
Okay. I know in the past, I don't normally see the resolutions up on the table. Is that something you can leave up there so that we can see them, see the documentation there?
The resolutions for the
Yeah,
transfer of CDs and stuff?
well, especially the budgetary transfers or any other ones that you do in the future, so.
I don't see why we couldn't, I don't, does anybody have a,
I don't have a problem.
no? Yeah,
Okay,
okay, let's throw a copy out there.
thank you.
Mhm.
And then the last one I have is about Heisley. Is there any update on the Heisley culvert replacement? The amount of effort the township engineers having to do and what the cost is?
Yeah, I don't know. if
He
we have
was
a cost.
supposed to provide a quote for tonight. He wasn't sure, because it isn't up just to him. He's giving it to whoever else in his office and they're getting the cost estimate together. It was not ready for tonight. He thought it might be when he was here week before last, but it didn't come together. So, we'll know better next meeting.
Yeah, we don't have an answer. I know Max is
He's stressed.
stacked with
Maybe
work.
swamps are better word.
Unfortunately, puts us where we are, but
Okay, and then the last part of that with it, I see on the check register we have about $1,700 in signs, cones, that kind of stuff. Can you explain that? I mean, I see the reimbursement for road barrels to Daisy Lightner at $350, the first one. I see check 1846 is signage cones Heisley Road, and then the one below that is road signs Heisley. So, $1,700?
yeah, I know we had to.
What was that? Because I only see 2
Signage.
signs and like 10 barrels, so, out there.
Yeah, Daisy, do you have the breakdown on all of that? I know that when you were looking for it, again, because we needed stuff in a
Brad
hurry.
couldn't find
Yeah,
it.
so
Brad was
we didn't
looking-
have any barrels or cones though?
We had cones, we had cones, John, but
Mhm. Yeah,
they
barrels
were
are
not
better,
very
of course,
reflective
but we didn't
anymore,
have
so it
them.
was a judgment call that,
Okay.
hey, it was time to get some new stuff. So,
Right.
Okay,
They'll be
trying to
used,
exercise caution.
they'll be used again.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah, and we will need
Right.
to.
oh yeah.
We couldn't find a vendor locally for the barrels.
Yeah.
That's
I-
the whole-
It still isn't acceptable out there with no stop signs and everything else. That's why I was wondering, like $1,700 and we still aren't where we should be, I figure, so. Anyway, just wondering why it was $1,700, especially when we didn't have some of the stuff, so, okay. That's all I
We
have,
had
thank
no
you.
barrels.
Yeah, so,
Sorry, it's just,
I know.
it's weird
I
to
know
say
it-
we don't have any,
John,
we
I know
didn't
it
have any
wasn't to
barrels.
your
so.
standards and your expectations, but our engineer reviewed the concern that you had and also knows the conditions, and we did what he had recommended.
And you have that in an email or something, or is it just word of mouth from Brad?
It was conversation with
Okay,
with him.
good to hear.
Yeah, we showed him the papers that he provided.
Okay. Jackie, you're up.
I was just wondering, are you guys gonna try to do an overlap in the new hire?
Oh,
in
absolutely,
Daisy?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot to, for
There's
that
a
person to
lot.
get.
Right.
Yeah, good point. Okay, before adjournment, back to Stanley Humbert for a moment. For the folks who don't know, I think it just came out, his services are gonna be this Thursday at Wesley Church in Marysville. 3 to 5 is visitation, and then 5 o'clock is the actual service, so everybody that understands is inclined to go.
Stanley?
Stanley Humbert, he was the former tax
I got that.
Yep.
Humbert?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks.
Okay, I think that was it, so with that, I'll make a motion to adjourn, is there a second? Brad second, all in favor? Aye. Meeting is adjourned.